Hello guys, welcome back to UCR Forest Academy. Once again, we are welcome back to the channel. So in today's lesson, I will be sharing to you guys a recent update on Maven Profile, which they recently added. What I want you to do is to watch the lesson to the end because this recent update is very important. And what is this update? Maven has added an instant funding account, meaning you don't have to pass any challenge again before you get funded. You don't have to pass any challenge again. It's not like the one they will you go and buy the account. They will tell you that you need to pass the first phase, second phase. No. This one with the least $19, you can get the smallest account on Maven for I think the smallest account there on Maven is $2,000. So you actually with your $19 you can be able to purchase that account. And when you trade, if you make profit, you will withdraw. If you make profit, you will withdraw. So that is the recent update on Maven. But you need to understand that the fact they have already added instant funding, there are rules that is following that very particular what account type. So all you have to do is to watch this lesson to the end because I'll be breaking down each and every one of those rules and enabling you to make sure you understand it. And if there is nothing you did not understand, I encourage you to drop it on the comment section. I'll always be there to assist you and to make sure you understand this very particular or your question. Okay, so don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Turn on the notification button on so that you always be the first person to be notified by YouTube each time I make a quality lesson like this because I drop quality lessons here on YouTube. You can check out my channel. You'll see some of the lessons I've dropped in the past. If not one or two could be of a massive helpful guide to you. You also need to understand that this is not the first time I'm making a lesson on Marvin. I've done the first one, but that was when they were actually running on challenge phase. So if you don't like this particular one, you don't like the instant funding, the rules you cannot be able to keep to it. All you have to do is to locate my channel, click on the channel, and then scroll down to playlist, or you can use the tab. Then click on playlist. You're going to see where I wrote start to forest new, like new to forest start here. So go and watch that very particular lesson I made, past perform in 3 steps. So that was where I explained everything about the challenge phase rules and how you can actually pass that very particular what account. So if that is what you actually want, remember I have the lesson there. Okay. So the reason why I'm making this lesson is it's nothing about just to enable you to understand this very particular rule. So if you have been the one that you wanted to purchase this account, but because after reading all these things, one or two of them were like, oh, I cannot be able to buy this thing because of you didn't actually understood the rules. Don't worry, I'm going to explain to you now. Or maybe one of your friends discouraged you, or maybe any influencer discouraged you, and then you say, I cannot be able to keep to this. There's no problem. I will help you to understand the rules. The truth of the matter is, I'm going to be very, very plain. I'm not going to hide anything. I'm going to be very transparent. I will actually expose even the one that is going to cause you not be able to withdraw. Just make sure you watch the lesson to the end because I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm going to keep everything very transparent just for your own good because I understand how much it means. You spend some amount of money only to get an account after making some profit. You cannot be able to withdraw. I don't want you to pass through that stage. Okay, so watch the lesson to the end. Everything is going to make sense from now. All right, now so we have a challenge phase account of Marvin. We have an instant funding now. So what is this instant funding anyway? Instant funding is when you don't need to pass any evaluation phase again. You don't need to pass any challenge phase. You don't need to prove to anybody that you know how to trade. You don't need to prove to Marvin said that you know how to. You have the best strategy in the world. That is what exactly instant funding is here to do for you. All you have to do is to give them a small amount of money. So as you can see with the 2K account here, with the 2K account, you can actually be able to purchase with the 2K account, you can be able to purchase it with $19. What about the 5K? You can see 29. What about the 10K? 58. The other one, 116, 50K, 290, 100K, 549. One of the things you need to understand, this is one of the most cheapest thing I've ever seen. It's very, very cheap. Oh. There's no place you see this instant funding at this price. It's not like I'm affiliating Marvin actually, but I feel this Marvin is one of the most cheapest firm out there, and their rules are not really that strict. But if you can be able to keep to it, Marvin is very cheap, and they meant the best for you. Then nobody paid me to do this thing because I have gotten a lot of questions about this particular stuff, and that is why I'm taking my time to explain this particular thing so that you guys will actually want to understand it. Okay, so since we say that instant funding is actually a life account. Let's just use that word, a life account. You don't need to prove to anybody. You need to understand there are so many rules that are accompanying this thing. Let's go down now to read those rules. Let's go down to read those rules now. So here are the rules now. We have number one. First, you need to understand that Maven has two trading platforms. The first platform is Match Trader. The second platform is C Trader. Each time you select account under Match Trader, it's going to be very very cheap. As you can see, this 2K account is just sold for just 19 USD on a Match Trader. But if you go to C Trader, that thing is going to more than double. It's 39 USD now. The reason is because why you always see that the account size will always increase whenever you choose C Trader is because of what? It's because C Trader is the advance of this very particular Match Trader. The way the interface looks like here is not the same way it looks here. This one is a bit faster than this, but that does not make any sense, bro. The thing you need to understand, like each time you make a profit here, this one will give it to you. Just that this one is a little bit dull in terms of interface, but see, that one does not mean anything. You can, if you don't have this 50, if you don't have this 78 USD for a 10K account, why don't you just spend 58 USD and purchase this one again? So don't allow anything to pressure you. Do what you can be able to, or buy what you can be able to afford. Okay, and don't forget that two of them still do the same thing, just that the interface and a little bit of how the stuff runs. That is what you really need to know. If you have excessive money, you can go for C trader now. If you don't have money, or yeah, go for Match Trader. Okay, when we talk about the minimum trading days, the minimum withdrawal, and the rest of them, let me count down and explain this thing. If you like, skip any part of the particular lesson and then you conclude that you already know what I want to say. You say, fine, using all these things, calm down. Oh, I'm about to explain something to you. You will see that definitely you don't even know anything. And even if you have known this thing, but you see that there's no, I can't even make use of what I know. So why don't you allow me to help you? Don't forget that our VIP class program is still running. All you have to do is use the number you are seeing on the screen and message us on WhatsApp, and for you to get the details on how we run. Though this is the only online class where we are going to mentor you how to trade the forex market one on one. There is nothing like any Zoom calls here. We are not going to call you Zoom call. The moment you join, we will start mentoring you. You start getting the recorded videos, and that recorded videos will enable you to return back and ask us questions, which will still redo that lessons for you. We're going to make sure you understand how to trade the forex market. Know that you are getting a private mentor who is going to mentor you one on one, which is who you see here. And not only that, just also knowing that we are this is how we operate. It's not like we saw you and change to give a particular strategy. No, this is how we teach each and every one of our students. And not only that, it doesn't have any time limits. Not like after 1 month or 2 months we are done with you. No, 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 no. We are going to keep mentoring you until you understand how to trade the forex market. And there are tons of benefit that follows it. Okay, all you have to do is to use the number you are seeing on the screen and reach out to us on WhatsApp for you to get more details on how you operate. Believe me, you are signing up on a very particular academy that knows how to bring the best out of you and are here to help you to understand how to trade the forex market and treat it like a business, possibly passively a particular account. Okay, so that is what exactly I have for you about the VIP class. So back to the lesson, you need to understand that the minimum withdrawal about this particular on any account size you bought on this very particular place. If you like, buy 5K, 2K, 10K, 100K, whatever. You just need to understand that the minimum withdrawal is 3%. I'm on 10K account, so I want to use 10K, so everything will be very simple. So the minimum withdrawal on the 10K is 3%, meaning that before you can be able to place that withdrawal, you have to trade and make the 3% of what? Of 10K. So what is the 3% of 10K in Enugu? 3% of 10K is not 300 USD, it's 300 now. Are you struggling to calculate it? No problem. See how to calculate it now. So the 10% of 10K is what? Is it not 100? 2%, 20%, 2% is it not 200? Then 3% is it not 300? Now. So that is it. So you have to make over 300 USD before you can be able to place what? A withdrawal on this very particular instant funding. If you did not make 300 USD, there's no way you're going to place that withdrawal. If you like, trade and get 250 and you're placing withdrawal, they'll tell you no. You have to make sure you get that 300 USD before you withdraw. Calm down. Oh, don't skip the leg. Don't say, hey, they have come. I'm not watching again. Calm down. Okay? Don't worry. Let me explain something to you. You're going to see something now. So we have what we call a trailing drawdown, which can still be called overall drawdown. So this very particular trailing drawdown is the maximum loss you can have before the account gets closed. So what do I mean by that? By the maximum loss you can have before the account gets closed. That's like the highest loss limit you can have. That's if you are trading and you are making losses, loss. At the end of the whole day, you see that your account is approaching this 300 USD. Just know that if it hits 300, which is the 3%, if you actually hit that 300, Otilo, your account is gone. No, you get me now. Your account is gone. You have breached the rule. So let's say you are trading and you lost 10 USD, you lost 100 USD the first day. Just step aside, leave the screen or leave the chat, go to other things, go and rest. Tomorrow, come back and keep what and keep trading. Don't forget that this particular trailing drawdown, it moves with your profit too. It moves your what with your profit. That is to say, let's say when you bought the account, let's go to trading view and make things very simple. Let me expand this thing. Let me like break down the particular trailing drawdown for you. You see that the trailing drawdown is very different from the daily drawdown. Let me calm down and explain it for you now. I will calm down and explain everything. Your own is that you will not calm down. Imagine you get so calm down. So now you see this is a 10,000 USD. I believe this is a 10,000 USD account we just bought from them. They have already sent you their account and they have already funded you. Now you are in between making a profit or what or losing the account, okay, which I know that you definitely want to make profit. Then you know that the maximum loss allowed there is 3%, which is what 300 is what 300. That is the highest loss. So meaning that if you are trading this thing, make sure that your account did not go below 9,700, because if your account goes below 9,700, that is now when you have lost what the 300 USD and everything is gone. Your effort or your money is gone. So you don't have to make this financial error or whatever. So okay, this is now if you or let's say that you bought the account and the first trade you took gave you $1,000, right? A 1,000 USD profit. Now this means that your starting balance was 1,000 USD. Now with the new profit you have already made, it was plus 1,000 plus 1,000. Now the new balance will now be 11,000. So when trailing drawdown want to work, like when trailing drawdown wants to work, it's gonna work this way. It's if your you have to it works this way. It moves like a safety net that follows your highest profit but never moves backward. It moves like a safety net that follows your highest profit. So what is your highest profit here? 11,000. So what is the percentage, or what is the 3%? What is the 3% of 11,000? I believe that 3% of 11,000 is nothing more than how to get it. 11,000 minus 3%. Most of you now will be shouting, "Yay! Is here a lot of calculation? Is it what I'll be doing?" No, calm down now. It's not what you should be doing. I know most of you are running from calculations every time. Again, but that is not what exactly you have to do. So when you calculate these things, the 3% of this very particular 11,000 means that you will never go below 10,670. But I'm still very far. So I want to tell you that 3% of 11,000 is 330. So meaning that when you start trading it, don't ever go below 10,670. So that is exactly the 3% of what 11,000. So when your profit is increasing, this very particular trailing drawdown is increasing with your what? Your profit, but it can never go backward. Oh. If you start losing, that thing will be there. Oh. Let's say you made this very particular 11,000. Now your trailing drawdown now is 330. It's no longer 300 oh, because you made a profit now. Then you went into losing streak or you started losing. There's no way this 330 is going to increase. Oh. No, it's going to be there. Oh. And if you definitely lose the 330, boom, the account is gone. Okay, just know that this thing will increase with your profit, but it will never decrease or it will never increase with your losses. So it's always there, it is static. So now let's now proceed to try to understand it very well. Or is it, I believe that this particular example is very enough. Or let's say that you, or let's say, or let's try to explain it this way again. If this one is still confusing you, and let's try to explain it this way. So let's say that this very particular training drawdown that you made, your balance is now 10,500, or let's say you lose 500. You when you made that 11,000, right? When you made that 11,000, now you have now lost 500. You have now lost what 500. So how much do you think that is remaining? It's now 10,500. So since your news balance is what is 10,500, just know that just know that if you are to bleed the account now, if you just lose additional 170, otilo, the account is gone. Don't try it. If you lose additional 170, the account is gone. So you don't have to find yourself in such a mess. That is why I still encourage you to join the VIP class program. Everything will be very, very easy for you because we definitely, I'm going to help you well. I'm going to be always there for you, checking out your setups, making sure that your risk management is intact. Though we have a lot of things to track all your development. So why won't you join the VIP class program? Is it until when you have bought this account numerous times and you cannot be able to withdraw, you give up, give up, and you conclude that forex is a scam? Then later you still come back again and fund account. Just imagine between you and forex now, which one is a scam now? So learn your lessons and make things very easy for yourself. Look at the number displaying on the screen. Use that number and reach out to us on WhatsApp. Let we mentor you very well privately. Okay. So now let's now talk about the key point to remember or whatever about the particular trailing drawdown. You need to understand that trailing drawdown moves up as your profits, as your trailing drawdown moves up as you make profit, but does not move down if you start losing. No, that is one you need to know that. So if you grow your account, the maximum loss will be based on the highest profit. That is to say, if you grow your account to 15,000, it will now be the maximum loss there will be the 3% of what of the 15,000. So that is exactly how trailing drawdown work. So you need to also understand that if your balance drop, that one will not go back. Oh, it will just be there. Okay, so now you just need to be trading. Once you are making profit, just be smiling because the trailing drawdown is increasing. But when you start losing, don't expect it to what to increase. So there's a big difference of trailing drawdown. There's a very big difference between the trailing drawdown and the daily drawdown. Okay, so what is exactly is this daily drawdown, which they say that you should not lose more than 2% of it. Now, this daily drawdown is just like the maximum number of loss you can lose in a particular day. Is what the maximum number of loss you can lose in a single day. If you blew this paper, if you reach this 2% on a particular account, your account is gone. So what is the 2% of 10K? If we talk about the 2% of 10K, I believe it's 200. Are you confused? 1% is what? 100. 2% is what? 200. So that means you don't have to lose more than what? 200 in a single day. If you found yourself risking already at a level of 201, 202, Otilo, your account is gone. No, don't try it to focus on what? Focus on making sure that if you are close to that 200, like you lose, and you have lost 100 USD that day, or you step aside, come out from that chat, go and play, go and do something else. Because if you continue like that, you are ending up blowing that very particular account, that very particular work day. So as you can see, there's no this trailing drawdown and the daily drawdown is not the same. The other one will always be moving up with your profit. This one is just a stick like a rule that was inserted there that if you lose 200 USD in a day or 2% of that very particular account you bought, that your money is gone. So you need to know that. So more rules or about Maven you need to know is that maximum trading days infinity. So there is no time limit. You can trade as long as you follows the rule. Okay, so you don't have. It's not like Maven will tell you that in a week you have to trade 3 times or 4 times. No, no, no. Nobody is telling you that within a particular what account. So all you have to know is that you can trade if you like, trade from now to next year. Each time you have met the target or you have met the rule, you can place your withdrawal and they will give it to you. They will give it to you. Are you getting me now? So just understand that that is what I mean by maximum trading days infinity. Then what about the minimum trading days I talked about, which is zero? So it means that you don't have to trade for a minimum number of days to qualify for any withdrawal. Like you don't need to trade for what? It's not like some other prophet will tell you that you need to trade in a week three times or 4 times before you can be able to place withdrawal. Now these guys are actually forcing you even to look for setup when there is no setup. These guys are trying to make it. These guys are trying to mount pressure on you, and at the end of the whole day, you will not start taking unnecessary setup. But within a particular one, there's nothing like that here. You just have to trade comfortably. You can buy the account now and then leave the account and go. Let's say you can leave the account 1 month, 3 months before you can even start trading on it. Or let's say you made a profit today, you did not see setup after 2 to 3 weeks. There's no problem now. Your profit is there. Nobody is going to freeze your profit. Okay. So now we have what we call a consistency score. You see, this one is the reason why some people are running away from any particular instant funding. Even me, the first time I saw it, it took me took me the hard time to understand this particular consistency score because when I read this thing, I was like I tried my best to understand this thing. I know how long it took me to understand this thing, and then this was even the main reason why people were reaching out to me. What's the meaning of this thing? This year does not mean that this, that, this. A lot of questions. Even if you go to some social media platform, you see as people are complaining about this thing. And let me explain to you what this thing means and even how you can beat this very particular rule. Okay, all you have to do is to watch the lesson to the end. Don't forget that not only watching it once will enable you to understand. When you watch it the first time, try to watch it the second time because that first time will be strange, but the second time will be more familiar. For the third time, you will see you even be repeating all the words that I've already said on a particular word lesson, and that will increase the higher probability of you what understanding everything I say here. Okay, so now this consistency score works this way. This means you need to trade consistently, not make all your profits in one or two trade. Just you don't have to make all your profits in one or two trade. Now let's go to trading view. Now let's say you started trading it. Before now when we are trading on MT5, we can just make a profit like this. One day we'll wake up one morning and then we'll make $20. We'll smile. The next morning you wake up, or maybe the next setup you spot $50. You're smiling. Things are going well. The next time you are making $30. Then the next time again, you now came and made 200 USD on a single trade. Now you are going to be extremely happy when this thing is happening to you. But the truth of the matter now is that if you try this thing with the Maven instant funding, your account is gone. Are you getting me now? Your account is what? Your account is gone. So what they mean that all your profit should not be on a single trade. You can see that almost 80% of your profit you made over 50 plus 20 plus 50 is 70 plus 30 is 100 plus 200 is 300. That is to say that almost 70% or 80% of the profit you made, the total profit you made is what is derived from one particular trade. So Marvin will flag that account despite you made real money. You made profit and they are telling you all these things. My friend, that is how it work. That is one thing you need to understand. That is the rule now. So now let me explain better so that you can even understand this thing. Now you that is already thinking to buy it, or if you want to buy, now let me explain well so that it will clarify you. Okay, so even if you want to buy, you have this thing in the back of your mind that this is how this thing work. Remember I said I'll be transparent. So now the consistency rule is designed to make sure your profit are spread out evenly rather than coming from one big trade. You just need to understand that your profit per trade should not be more than 20% of your total profit. Okay, so just like as I said earlier, these particular things they are making sure that your your profit, all your profit is spread out evenly and rather than coming from one particular big trade. Because this particular one big trade, often call it gamble. You might be thinking that you are trading, but then they call it what? Gamble. So they don't know that sometimes you target, although they know, but they just want it to be. Because think about this thing as you just gave somebody a little amount of money and the person is giving you access to a very huge amount of money. You don't expect the person to just give you an easy rules. The person is going to give you rules that's going to keep you coordinated so that even if you are trading it, you're going to treat it like a business. I'm not going to treat it because since it's a big money, let me start misbehaving. No, now. So that is why they are inserting all these rules. Okay, you have to know that. So you need to understand that your profit per trade, when I say profit per trade, that is these are your pay trade, these are the four trade you took, pay trade, eh, should not be more than 20% of your total profit. That is when you consider how much did you make per trade 20, 50, 30, 200. So what is the total profit here is what 300 is what 300, right? Let me write it down so that some people will not be confused. So the total profit you made here is 300. Now they say that profit per trade should not be more than 20% of your total profit. So now what is the 20% of this total profit now? The 20% of this 300 is it not 60? Is it not 60 now? Is it not 60? Because the 10% of it is 30 now. The 20% of it is it not 60 is 60 now. So now the way it stands, the way it stands now look at all the trade you took. Look at all the trade you took. Is anyone above 60? Is anyone above what? 60. One is above 60, which is what? This 200. And this 200 that is above 60, you're already at a danger zone. You're already at what? A danger zone, because I said your profit per trade should not be more than 20%. Should not be more than 20% of your total profit. Your total profit is 300. The 20% of your total profit is what? Is 60. So you can see one of your trade, which is 200, is has sitting what? Has sitting above 60. So you have to keep trading. Let me explain how you can be able to spread your profit evenly so that you will not breach the rule now. So you just need to understand that you have what? The way it stands, you are likely what to breach the rule. Okay, so now let's talk more about this thing now. So let's say that you actually you made a profit of $1,000 or $1,000 or whatever. This was your profit, right? And this was how you made that profit. Number one trade, the first trade you took, you made 200. The second trade you took, you made 300. The third trade you took, you made 250. You made 250. The fourth trade you took, you made 250. Now, what's the next calculation for you to understand this 20% consistency rule? Now, calculate all the money you made, which is what? 1,000. Let me just listen up so that I can see very clear. So, calculate all the money you made, which is what? 1,000. Which one is this one? Oh God, what's been of this rubbish? So now calm down. Let me explain. Okay, this my chart was clear. So the first trade you made, it was 200. Second trade 300. Third trade, which is 250. Then the fourth one is what? 250. So this was your profit in four trade, right? So now we're going to proceed to calculate all this profit. So all the profit you made is under 1,000. It's under what? 1,000. So now the next thing for you to ask yourself is there any 20% or like sorry, the next thing for you to ask yourself now is the 20% of this very particular 1,000. What is the 20% of this very particular 1,000? The 20% of this very particular 1,000 is what? Is 200, isn't it? Is 200. So now since it's 200, now look at your trade. Is there any trade that is above 200? So we have to look at it. So you can see that the trade number two, trade number three, trade number four is currently above what? Is currently more than 200. So that violates the 20% consistency rule and the account will be flagged, not passed. So the truth of the matter is that when you have found out that one of your trade, or if like three of your trade has over like has passed this 20%, has passed this 200, it's not that you will not be you'll be flagged immediately. If you keep on trading, I will show you that if you keep on trading, but it's only when you want to place withdrawal that they will not flag the account. Okay, so now how to fix this thing properly without you not being flagged? You need to understand this thing. If you want to fix it a particular thing without you not being flagged, so now let's try another example. Let's say you came to a trade, you came to a setup, you made 140. You made what? 140. The next one you made 140. The next one you made 140. The next one you made 140. The next one, I think up to five places you made 140. So the total profit, sorry, this one is 140. I mean 140. So the total profit here now should be what? The total profit of what you made is 700. Is what? 700. So that is your total profit, right? So remember, this was the five trade you took, and you made a total profit of 700. So now the next thing for you to do now is to calculate the 20% of 700. So what is the 20% of 700? It is what? 140. Is what? 140. Just 10% is not 70. 20% is not 70 plus 70 is not 140. It's 140 now, my friend. So now it's 140 now. So since it is 140, did you breach the rule or not? You did not breach the rule. That is after they must have calculated your total profit and they split the total profit by 20%, like they divided it by 20%. They were able to see that not one single of your trade was above the 20% of what? Of that 700. So as it stands, congratulations, you passed the account. So now let's proceed. Now all your trades are within the equal of 20%, and so your account will not be flagged. Okay. So now you need to understand that this is how it works. So this 20% consistency rule is very, very strict though. You just need to know that all your profits need to be at round numbers. All your profit need to be what? At round numbers, so that you can be able to pass this very particular stuff. If your profit is not around numbers, it's a problem that you will not be able to watch to pass this very particular what account. So you have to be very, very serious about that and make sure that you don't breach this very particular watch rule. So you have to understand that this is serious. So that means that I cannot let's say there was a question I saw on my DM actually. Somebody asked, so somebody asked me a question. So I've been reading this particular 20% consistency rule, and then he said that, so this is serious. So that does that mean I cannot be able to make $80 in three places with this kind of rule? So the person is asking me, does that mean that I cannot be able to make 80 USD in three places? That it means that he cannot be able to make $80 three times within a particular rule. Then I said, yes, exactly. That is it. Yeah, exactly. You cannot just make $80 three times on a particular stock. But when you look at it now, 80 times 3 is what? So 80, that should be 160, right? And this should be now 240. So if this is 240 actually, so what is the 20% of 240? If you check it out, we are currently on 48. So all your trade is more than what? A is more than 48, which is what? 20% of it. 48 is the 20% of the particular what? 240. So when they calculate it like this, that means you're already bridging the rule because all your trade are above what? $80, above the 48% 20 consistency or whatever. Okay, so now you need to understand that this thing now, let me try to break it down so that these rules, you will not feel that these rules are very, very hard. If you make a profit of 80 USD on true trade, that's already 240 total, just like as I said earlier. And the 20% of 240 is just 48, meaning that each of your trades should be less than 48. But as you can see, your trade, your 80 trade are already above 48. So yes, the account is flagged inconsistent or whatever. Okay, so one thing you have to understand about these problem guys is that they just want a person that will just be that will be trading normally. If you are the type that you want to be targeting, if you are the type you want to be targeting some big profit, so if you're the type that in a trade you make 1:3, next one you make 1:3, the next one you start making 1:10, you just need to understand that you cannot be able to do this thing. Oh. Better leave it and go to the challenge phase, because this one you might fall a victim to it. So Prophet will always want to test you. They want to see a consistent person, not just a lucky person with one or big wins. We ourselves doesn't see it lucky because we're able to make 1:10. But them sees it as what? That we are lucky on a one particular move. Okay, so looking for these particular traders that can be able to do 40, 30, 35, 50, 155. So that is the kind of people they are actually looking for. So what you need to understand, one thing about is that when you take small trade instead of few big ones. So if you wanted to make this $80 now you say, okay, fine. What account size now? They said I should make 3%, right? They said I should make 3%. So now you need to understand. So they said I should make 3% of that very particular 100 that very particular 10K, right? Let's say this was the 10K, and they say make 3% of the very particular 10K. So you want to make 3% of it. So what is now going to happen is that you need to understand that this 3% is just 300. Now you have to divide this 300 maybe by 10 or whatever. So if you divide it by 10, that means that each of your TP should be around 30, 30, 30. Do you understand? Should be around what? 30, 30. Although this particular team will step in, spread and commission will step in. So that means you have to like make your profit should be around 25. Do you understand? Your profit should be somewhere around 25. So even if sometimes if you lose, you will see that at the end of their calculations, you will not be able to breach the rules. Do you understand? But when your profit is currently at round numbers like 30, 30 like this, you made $30 profit now. Then you can say that for you not to be able to bridge you have to make this $30 profit for like something like 10 times. If you make it 10 times, you be at what? At 300. You be at what? At 300. Or better still, you can make 50 times 5. 50 times 5. 50 times 5 will be what? 50 times, is it 5? Yeah, 5. I think 50 times 5 will be what? 50 times 5 can actually give you that 300. No, I mean, times 6 will give you what? 300. So 50 times 6 will actually what? Give you 300. So you can see times 6 will give you 300. So give you 300. That means now when they decide to divide this 300 now, so what is the 20% of 300? Is it not 60? It's 60 now. So if you look at all your trade, you are busy making 50, 50, 50. So it did not breach the rule. So that is one thing you need to understand about this whole thing. So you don't need to on a trade if you are trading on a particular instant funding. The first trade you made was the market is running in your favor. You went and closed it at 22. The next one you are closing at 18. The next one you are closing at 50, let's say 45. If your profit is in even numbers like this, you are not going to pass that account to. You're not going to what pass that account. At least you can be able to keep it somewhere around 25. So even when they add their spread and commission, everything will look very moderate. Okay, everything will look very very moderate. Although their spread and commission is somewhere around 1 point something. So if they add that their spread and commission, it will look what it will look moderate. The same way as your stop loss, not your stop loss today cannot be. Let's say today you used 15 USD as stop loss. You used it should be at round numbers. You use 10 USD now as stop loss. Now when now you lost that very particular stop, you need to know that Maven is going to attach a spread and commission to the very particular what 10. It's no longer going to be 10. It might be somewhere around 11 or even these two. Okay, so since you know that spread and commission is part of it, all you have to do, maybe you can keep your stop loss at 9 or 8, just to accommodate that their spread and commission, so that when their spread and commission enters, it might float to be what to be at round figures. Are you getting it? To be what it will float to be at what at round figures. Now can you see how you are just thinking like a business? You're not even thinking more of your strategy, but you are trying to balance everything. Before you take a trade, you see how you think of all these things. Although you don't even need to be thinking of, you just have to. After this lesson, you have watched this lesson and you have understood it. All you have to do, get a book, write it down. Which account do you want to buy? 10K or 5K? Which particular one? When you discover the account you want to buy, now write down all your rules. Now divide it by this. Now, if it is 10K, you have seen that it's 300, you should be pursuing now. So you are choosing in between the 30 or 25, the 30 or 25, or maybe 50, which I will encourage you to use 25, so that when the spread and commission enters, your loss will not be like as in the profit will not be spread out even. The profit will not be running against you. Okay, so now with this kind of thing, now when you divide it like this, you write it down. Okay, each trade I will be taking, I should not lose more than this. Or even if you are targeting 60 USD, if the market is running in your favor, reach to 30, close it. When the market get to 30, like take break even, or let me like take partial of 30. Do you understand? Don't just allow it to reach that very particular work, that very particular 60 once. Okay, so exactly that. I still encourage you, find a way and join the academy, because this thing is going to be very, very easy for you to understand. I've done my best just to clarify things for you to understand this 20% consistency rule. So as you can see, the life account, the instant life account has its own words rule. So you need to understand that they also give you a maximum open risk of 1%. They give you what a maximum open risk of 1%. So what is the 1% of this whole thing now? What is the 1% of the particular account? As you can see, the 1% of, so they are not expecting you to lose more than 100 USD on a single trade. Don't try it. If you're entering a trade and your stop loss is 200 USD, okay, reduce those things now. Before, if you lose 200 USD on a single trade, you have breached their rule. Okay, so this is everything you need to know about the Maven consistency rule and the Maven rules. And the next one you need to know is that the minimum profit split is 80 USD. Payout frequency is always 10 business working days. That's after 2 weeks, you can be able to place withdrawal. So I believe that this lesson was worth enough to help you. Please, if you did understand something, like and subscribe, share the lesson. Share the lesson. I'm begging you, just share the lesson. Another person can be able to see this lesson and learn. Okay, but if you have any question, use the community, use the comment section and ask me that very particular question. I will be there to assist you. My own is to make sure you understand this lesson. Believe me, I will answer all your questions and to make sure you did understood it. Don't forget that our VIP class program is running. That place you get more connected with me, and all these things I will be able to break it down for you bit by bit, and I will make sure that we figure out things. We will follow each step by step so that you can be able to place your withdrawal. So as you can see, this is where we are going to end the lesson, and I believe you did understand something. For now, we come to an end of a particular lesson. Thank you, and may God bless you.